Here we are, continuing our reading of Otter. And this chapter is How to Rescue a Stranded Otter. Be wary. The river cousins switch between land and water, like kids at the beach. But sea otters prefer the surf. If you see one where humans tread, keep your distance. It might just be an inquisitive sort, taking a breather. Or it could be sick or hurt or weakened by hunger. Everyone will want to touch the otter. That fur is the stuff of legend, and those puppy eyes pull like a magnet. Remember, though, those jaws are steel trap cruel. Call someone who knows what to do, or at least what not to do. Keep dogs away, and others who will want to get too close, who don't understand that while you wait for help to come, death may be en route too. Sounds. Otter's eyes will not open. Her head will not move. It is all she can do to breathe, because every breath burns, but she can at least still listen. She has created quite a commotion, it seems. Voices surge, people shuffle, tourists lean in close and click their cameras. Gulls cluster and gossip, enjoying the chaos, because chaos means dropped food, a fry, perhaps, or even an ice cream cone. Dogs send out throaty alerts, and a baby howls, while waves break on the beach, whispering to Otter, an otter alone. Let go, let go, let go. Help arrives. When rescue comes at last, Otter recognizes some of the voices, and her heart clenches with relief and regret. She is going back. She has failed, though maybe this time it's already too late. Maybe she will die. Before she even gets there, she's already been given a chance, one more than most. In any case, she accepts her fate. If Carrie survives, there's that at least. The hands are gentle, the gloves familiar. Hello, old friend, someone says. And though she doesn't understand the words, might never understand them, the music of grief and disappointment is not lost on her. Phantoms. They move her carefully, but even if she wanted to, she's too weak to protest. The bites on her belly, deep half-moons, have left her helpless. The cage smells antiseptic and unnatural, but she knows the scent well, even recalls the rough comfort of the worn towels. Phantoms linger here, too. Others like her have been locked in this cage, staring through the metal squares and wondering if this was their story's end or its beginning. The trip. The cage moves in, fits and starts, while time drifts like a sluggish stream. For a while the world fades, until a door opens, and there it is, the scent she knows as high water, almost ocean, almost real. She is back where she began, where the teaching happened, back to the place where she learned to be an otter. Clinic. Intake. So few facts. Intake notes 3.20810. Age admit 3 years, 4 months. Patient 0 through 156. Previous admit yes. Sex female. Species E. L. neris. Rescue location Moss Landing State Beach, South End. First call 7:40. 1. Stranded, no others sighted. Weight 20.4 kilograms. Length 1.2 meters. DX lacerations consistent with shark bite. So many questions. This time. The prognosis is grim, but still the staff, they're called Aquarius, hope this time all will be well. They always do, and sometimes, of course, they're right. Things are better than 10 years ago, 5 even. They know so much more now, which antibiotics work best, how to fine-tune the formula, surgical protocols, rehab, and yet understanding the odds, having done this so many times, why do their hearts rip open every time they fail? Why do they walk around the clinic for days, tissues in their pockets wiping away tears that keep returning relentless as the tides? Surgery. It's an unusual ER, small but well-equipped, where the patients come in many forms: penguins and moon jellies, sea lions and octopuses, green turtles and lumpfish. So much can go wrong in the ocean. Run-ins with boats, illness from pollution, oil spill exposure, entanglement in fishing lines, ingested plastic trash, diseases with too many syllables, acanthocephalan periodontitis, toxoplasma gondii, encephalitis. Of course, shark bites are a problem too. More lately, for many reasons. Could be the warming ocean, could be the dwindling kelp forests where sea otters like to hide, could be all the elephant seals a favorite meal of sharks, sharing the neighborhood with otters. It's all a reminder to keep hopes humble. Afterward. The surgery takes hours. Shark teeth are like razors, but finally Otter is moved to another small room. The aquarium is often bursting at the seams. She will be monitored day and night, hour by hour, given fluids and antibiotics, her respiration checked, her heart rate noted. The next days will be long indeed. Heads will shake, worries whispered. There are so few of her kind left, and there's so much more to learn from her. That's what they're all thinking. Delirium. Otter lingers in a twilight place, not quite awake, not quite asleep, where memories spin like waterspouts. Maybe because the end is near, she returns to the beginning of her tale, when she first drew air as her newborn pup. 3 pounds of mewling fur, so small she could fit in a shoebox or a sand pail with room to spare. And this brings us to Section 2, How to Be an Otter Pup 3 years earlier. What happened 3 years earlier, Apollo?
She learned how to be an otter pup.
This is when she was at the clinic the first time?
Yeah, and now she got a shark bite, so she's going back to being a baby. So she's going back to be trained how to be an otter.
Oh, or having a flashback. Well, here we go, a pup's life. Otter was her mother's third pup, though only the first survived, and one Ondine knew the drill. She knew she would spend almost every moment with Otter on her stomach, clutching her newborn, like a pillow with a heartbeat. Otter would drink and sleep, sleep and drink and sleep. Pups have it easy, unlike their moms. Don't ask where Dad was. Otter's fathers aren't exactly parents of the year material.
Hey, Dada.
What?
You would like being an otter, Dad.
No, then I'd just get to go do whatever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Leashed. Ondine could only dive for food when Otter was safely looped in long strands of kelp, like a leashed puppy or a reined pony. It was the only way to be sure Otter would stay safe and wave cradled. Still more than a few pups came unmoored, drifting away like stray beach balls. The Otter Hair Salon. Ondine neglected her own health, devoting all of her energy to Otter's survival, and that meant spending countless hours at the Otter Hair Salon. Otter's baby's fluff could soon be replaced by the warmest fur on Earth, up to 1 million hairs per square inch, a miracle of design. But it's the air bubbles otters add that keep them perfectly impossibly warm and dry. Grooming means fluffing and blowing, and teasing and separating, and combing and licking, and tidying and spiffing.
Ew.
And cleaning and cleaning and cleaning some more. It isn't vanity for otters. It's a matter of life and death. The ocean is a cold place to call home.
I don't want to live in the ocean my whole life.
Not if it's that cold, huh? Perfect. Otters don't fret much about what they're called. When you're all about survival, names take a back seat. Still, as the weeks passed, it became clear that Otter was the perfect choice for such a squirmy, squeaky pup. She never calmed, nursing for a moment, then raising her downy head to see if something fun might be hiding just beyond the next wave. Day 28. 1 month, and Otter was thriving, though Ondine could have used a break. Had a pup ever moved this constantly, even in her sleep? Cuddled close, Otter was restless, her front paws dream-busy, small and soft as toddlers' mittens. Otter sounds like a hard pup, huh? Hard pup to raise. So much
She's
to...
super playful, and she breaks the rules a lot. She doesn't even care if she swims into danger.
So much to learn. That's probably what we're going to hear here. Ondine was not keeping up with her own feeding. She felt tired sometimes, but at least her milk was still coming. Soon Otter would have so much to learn. When to dive for dinner, where crabs lurked, how to eat a sea urchin. One vital trick Ondine would be teaching, using rocks for meal prep. Such time savers, when you needed to crack open a crab or a mussel. For weary Ondine, these lessons couldn't come fast enough. This is tool use. When otters put rocks to work, humans call it tool use, and applaud the ingenuity. Like chimps and corvids, octopuses and elephants, otters have been elevated, moved up a rung on the evolutionary ladder, though every day a group seems to join the list of species that were smarter than human folks once thought. What to fear? Otter pups spend more time with their moms than some marine mammals. Still, they're born with teeth and ready to swim. As soon as they shed their life jacket baby fur, they grow up much faster than human children do. Already Ondine had tried to share the most important lessons she could with her pup. What to fear. Not that she was certain Otter was listening. It was never too early to learn how to stay alive. And so she reminded Otter whenever she could, stay away from, what, Apollo? Sharks. Stay away from humans, too. Stay away from all that you don't understand. It felt wrong, teaching the little one who made her cherish life to be afraid of it. But that was how things had to be, especially with a pup as heedless and wild-hearted as Otter. Day 32. One morning, Ondine awakened to unsettled air. The world smelled strange and storm-ready. She secured Otter extra tightly to her favorite strand of kelp. A quick dive for some urchins would help Ondine stave off hunger for a bit. After the storm, shifting sands might unearth new meals. Ondine took one last glance at her pup. Otter squealed with outrage at the abandonment, as she always did. While Ondine tried to shake off her feeling of unease, it was the dream she'd had last night, perhaps, or the coming storm that had her on edge. That's all it was. Otter dreams. Humans envy the way otters sleep on the water, paws linked, untroubled as lily pads. But otters don't just doze like other mammals. They dream. Flying dreams, where they ride the thermals like hawks, and shivery nightmares, where all their fur has vanished. And fretful dreams, where they can crack open a mussel, frantic as a student who's forgotten their locker combination. Can't crack open a mussel. The newborn. There was a pup in Ondine's dreams. Newborn, needy and squeaking, though it wasn't Otter. Otter was there, though, full-grown, in fact, and while she wasn't a mother or a sister or an aunt, she was somehow important to a little pup. Otter kept deep diving to escape the pup's demands. Its helplessness frightened her. When she couldn't hold her breath a second longer, she would rocket to the surface, only to find the pup still there, still asking for her help. Dozens of times, Otter dove. Dozens of times she surfaced. Dozens of times the pup was waiting. "I can't do it," Otter kept saying. "I don't know how to teach her." And through it all, Ondine could only watch. Just a dream. A dream. It was just a dream. Ondine told herself again and again as she prepared to dive.
Or is it?
Or is it? I don't know. The wind. Her mother was gone, searching for food, and once more Otter was forced to wait, fidgety and annoyed. The wind was not itself today. She didn't like the way it kept bullying the water. It was awful, each time her mother left her alone. If you asked Otter, or any otter pup, life should be nothing but warmth and milk, cuddling and play, on demand, 24 hours a day. Otter reminded herself that her mother always returned, smelling of the baffling underwater world and ready again to wrap her pup in paws instead of kelp. Different. Otters are used to constant movement. The tides, egged on by the moon, never stop after all. But this day was different. The waves grew wild, flinging Otter this way and that, refusing to relent while she coughed and gasped. It was almost as if the ocean was angry at her, but how could that be? Rain. Rain came hard and lightened, clawed the sky. Otter cried out, but her sounds were lost in the water crashing and whitecaps boiling. Where is she? She is gone. And what if she is gone forever? Airborne. Pushed and pulled, the green and living harness meant to keep Otter safe, let loose. No one heard her screams. When the ocean finally discarded her, Otter was no longer afloat on a watery cushion that swayed and rocked. She'd landed somewhere cold and hard, and everything had stopped. Waiting. Otter shivered, choking and crying, as she listened for her mother's return, waiting for the clasp of paws and the scent of safety. The rain was just a trickle now, but where was the ocean? What was this rough, unmoving place?
Was it the beach?
Must be, or a rock. Too close. Harsh sounds. Oh, let's make sure. Too close. Harsh sounds soon came. Nothing like bird calls, though. These weren't gulls, or terns, or pelicans. New scents approached, too. Not part of the water world she knew, and much, much too close. Shadows. Huge shadows loomed, cast by tailless animals with hideous, too long forefeet and flippers. And next came a touch, not her mother's, not easy and knowing, though not painful either, and the grip tightened, lifting her off the solid spot where the ocean had dropped her. She tried to fight her way free, hissing and snarling and scrabbling, but the animal that held her was strong, and she was not.
It was humans.
Sounds like it. Somewhere new. More movement, bouncing without waves, more sounds she'd never heard before. She was somewhere new. The air had changed. It was cool and dry, not damp with the ocean's breath. A soft letting go happened, landing her on coarse fur. Nothing like her mother's. Other animals came close, leaning in. She tried to struggle, but couldn't move. She tried to squeal, but no one listened. Where is she? After a while, Otter gave up trying to fight. Without the circling waves and her mother's soothing touch, all Otter could think was, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Until finally exhausted, she fell into a dreamless sleep. All right, let's leave it right there, okay?
Okay.
And we'll finish it another day. Adios, Internet!